We are now in front of the Archaeological Museum, one of the best museums in Italy, located in the center of the city in front of Galleria Principi di Napoli. The museum is located on the northern fringe of Napoli, the center of the city that has besides it many other interesting monuments and churches situated in magnificent squares. The building of the Archaeological Museum was originally a cavalry barrack and later the seat of the city's university. In the late 18th century, Charles de Bourbon established here a museum to house an impressive collection of antiquities inherited by him from his mother Elizabeth Farnese, besides treasure discovered in Pompei and an old collection of Egyptian relics from Borgia collection. The first floor houses the sculpture from the Farnese collection, including the Toro Farnese, a possible Roman copy of a Greek sculpture dating from 150 BC. Michelangelo restored the sculpture that was sculpted from one block of marble. At the mezzanine are mosaics from Pompei. Exquisitely crafted, the mosaics preserve the remarkable colors used. The most famous one is the Battle of Alexander, that depicts the Macedonian emperor in its best-known rendition. It used to adorn the floor of the Casa del Fauno from Pompei, whose main statue is also in the museum collection. This large hall is named the Hall of the Meridian, that has on its pavement drawn a line that represents a meridian crossing right here. It has inside many of the frescoes from Pompeii, made in the famous Pompeian red. Also, at the second floor its Cabinetti Secreti, a collection that can be visited only by appointment of various sexual objects or objects carrying sexual paintings discovered in various digs. The collection created lots of controversy in Italy, being open to the general public only very recently. Galleria Principi di Napoli. The Galleria was built at the beginning of the century in a similar style with Galleria Vittorio Emanuele in Milano. The second large and important museum in Napoli is in Palazzo Nazionale in Capodimonte, situated a little off-center. The museum houses the famous Galleria Farnese, an impressive collection of paintings. All this estate was a hunting ground, and Charles de Bourbon started to build here a palace in 1738. Its construction lasted for about 100 years and eventually passed to the House of Savoy, further being taken over by the new Italian state in 1947 and transformed in a museum in 1958. Now is named Palazzo Reale de Capodimonte, housing a collection of painting, silver and porcelain. The whole back wing houses the painting from the collection of Cardinal Alessandro Farnese, who became in 1534 Pope Paul III. Before becoming Pope, the Cardinal was in charge of the art collection of the Vatican, a chore that was later transferred to his sons, one becoming Duke of Parma and Piacenza, and the other also Cardinal and a famous collector. His papal influence gave Cardinal Farnese a sort of monopoly of archaeological digs around Rome that enriched the papal collection but also decorated his own Palazzo Farnese in Rome where in 1540 in its garden was placed the recently discovered Toro Farnese. The painting collection is impressive, having works by Bellini, Botticelli, Caravaggio, El Greco. Besides the paintings, the museum has a collection of silverware, tapestry, ivory, porcelain, and maiolica.